Welcome back to One-on-One with Mr. U. Of course, I am your host, Mr. U. In studio with us is one of the co-founders of the Blessn app. Gerald Jones is in the house. Kevin Clark couldn't be with us today, but Gerald, good to have you here, sir. How are you, man?
Oh, I'm good. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Same here, brother. Same here. If you guys are watching and listening for the very first time, upper right-hand corner of your screen, the QR code that will allow you the opportunity to check out all of our older interview shows and see if you like our profile and our format of doing things, and drop your comments also in our DM on social media or in the Apple Podcasts. We can leave a 5-star review of our show, One-on-One with Mr. U, and all of our podcast shows under our brand. So thanks again for your time and watching and listening. And we're here with Gerald Jones, co-founder of the Blessn app. I want to hear more about this, man. I'm really excited about hearing this. I love the name, by the way, man. But how did you guys come up with the name of the thing? How this whole thing started?
Oh, man. The whole thing started actually from me doom scrolling. I'm sitting in bed, I'm about to go to sleep, and I'm scrolling through the internet and some of these other social media platforms. And what I realized is I was starting to feel anxious. I was starting to feel a little bit angry about what's going on in the world. So I go to bed angry, and I wake up the next morning, and I'm like, man, we got to do something about this. So I called my business partner, Kevin. We've been, friends for over 20 years. I called him up and I'm like, man, I got an idea. We need to do some faith scrolling over doom scrolling. So I pitched him the idea and said, this is what I think we should do. We should invest our time and money into this. And it was a 3-year journey to get it from that concept all the way out to launching Blessn. And it's been a fun journey. And now I'm just excited here to be talking about, everything we did to get it up and running.
I love it, man. I'm so impressed when somebody says that they had a friendship that goes back over 20 years. I'm so impressed by that because for what maybe just my experience, but it feels like people are really flighty with the friendships. It's friendships that suit them. It's conditional, things like that. Tell me I'm excited about all that you guys are doing. I want to hear about your friendship. That really matters to me. I think our audience will appreciate it as well. You said over 20 years. Tell me how you guys met. How'd you sustain a 20-year friendship living in the same area of the country? Talk to me how it kind of started and what it looks like now.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. I have a lot of people who you call friends, but for a true friend, it's very hard to find, man. So I've had people who are conditional friends, people who call you when they need something, or people who are there with you when things are up, and then are your work friends and stuff like that. So I remember my dad told me, you're only going to have very few friends. This is when I was a little kid. He told me that you're only going to have very few true friends, if you have any. So it's always been in my mind, like, that concept. So I met Kevin backstage at the Academy Awards, and we weren't getting any award or doing anything. We were actually working at the show. So we met backstage. We were both in our 20s. We were just young cats back then. I was there because I got an internship with Debbie Allen, and then she got me into the Academy Awards. So we met backstage. We both were chit-chatting, talking about our dreams and our future and what we want to, do in the future. So that's where it started. And then over the years, both of us got, like really ambitious. So we started doing some filming. We made some music videos. We also did a business for people with developmental disabilities. And all of these ups and downs and all these hardships and all these failures that we've had on the way up to building Blessn, just strengthened our friendship. And we raised our kids together. I got kids. He got a daughter who's 10 years old. I got a 17-year-old, a 19-year-old, and a 25-year-old. So
you leaving Kevin in the dust.
A family man also. Because they can see the perspective, and it's just been a blessing, really, to have somebody who's we see eye to eye, and we always look out for the best of each other.
Oh, I love that, man. I love that. So you guys must live in the same area, if I'm understanding that right?
Yeah. We're out here in Los Angeles.
Copy that. Okay. So how do you what do you have to intentionally do to maintain a friendship like that with your busy lifestyles? You guys definitely are big picture thinkers. You can tell that from what you guys have been doing together with your business ventures. How do you because he's not here to answer this question, I'm gonna ask you on his behalf as well. What do you guys intentionally do to maintain a friendship that has lasted so long like this in a place like Los Angeles?
Yeah, I think one of the thing is after you've been friends for a while, you start seeing each other as family. Like his mom calls me her son. My mom,
Oh, wow.
that type of situation. So we actually became more like brothers. And then when you see somebody as your family, you only want the best for them. There's no jealousy. There's no, oh, he's getting more shine than me. He's getting more attention than me, or this or that. That usually will end the friendship. With business and stuff like that, where somebody's seems to be getting more credit and it's all in your head. I mean, you hear about bands and groups break up because of that type of thing. So I think as long as you see each other as partners and that you're on the same journey with the same goal, and it's not about shine, it's not about who's going to get more credit, who's going to get more attention. As long as you can push out the outside world, but people in your ear tell you, I mean, I have people tell me in the past, we were working on a music video for an artist, and he was like, "Man, why are you rolling with this dude, man? You're doing all the work." But they don't see
what's coming.
stuff. They don't see, they see me doing one particular role and think that I'm the one who's in charge of everything, but they don't know the journey and what we had to do behind the scenes to get where we're at. So there's going to be people in your life who are going to be haters, are going to try to interfere with your plan. So if you find somebody who is truly your friend and truly wants to see you succeed, not only themselves succeed, they want the best for you in anything. Working out, we both encourage each other to work out. I'll check them every day. Like, man, did you go to the gym today? Or man, I'm getting on the treadmill. Man, did you get your miles in today? So all of those things, if somebody's doing that for you, that's a true friend.
Yeah, definitely. You guys get a lot of shared experiences. When you talk about shared values, what that look like for you guys? What value do you guys share that's allowing you to have this kind of relationship?
Yeah, I think it's family, man. I got a big family. I got a family all over the place. I got Texas. I got a lot of, other brothers. I got a sister. Everybody in my family, the way we were raised is like, the family. We all support each other. Even when somebody's acting like a knucklehead, you got to have their back. So I think bringing him into my family, I think he just kind of felt that same relationship where it's like the family's the most important thing, and building up the family and then the community around us. So if you want your family to be successful, you need to help the community around your family. So that's one of the things that brought us to Blessn. We started realizing as fathers that social media was getting pretty influential on some of these children, where a lot of this negative stuff was coming on there, a lot of shock value, all these mean pranks and just silly trends that were happening, that or even some of this stuff where people were exposing themselves on the internet and stuff like that. So we knew we didn't want to create something that could help the community and help our own children. And that's why we created an app, Blessn. That's a social media that's more centered on uplifting people.
Yeah, I definitely want to get to that. And I'm definitely want to get to March 2023, but I want to ask you about the Emmy Award. Because I understand you guys are Emmy Award winners, which is like really hard for some people to say. I've never been here before, but you guys won an Emmy. Kind of break down how that happened, how you become Emmy Award winners. What happened there?
Oh man, that's a crazy story. So I'm sitting at home. I got my nephew visiting, my niece and my nephew are visiting, and watching the news, and there was a news report about a school shooting. So that right there made me think we got to do something. Same thing happened. I called Kevin. I'm like, hey, man, I'm thinking about this PSA. It just came into my mind. We need to do like an anti-school shooting violence PSA. So the very next day, I mean, we didn't put much thought into it. We got everything we needed that same day. We put it all together. I used my nephew and my niece since they were visiting. I used them as actors. We shot the whole PSA in one day and edited it. Took a couple of days to edit it and get all the sound and all the color and all that right. So it was just something that we did in one day. We used my house as one of the scenes. We used this local school down the street from my house at another scene, and a cemetery that's a couple of blocks from my house for one of the scenes. So everything came together real quick on a shoestring budget, practically spending nothing out of pocket. We had it broadcast out here, and, we entered it, just as like, hey, man, let's just see what happens. We entered it into the Emmys and didn't think much of it. So we got the nomination. At this time, Kevin didn't even want to go to the show. He was like, there's no chance, man. I'm not going down to that show. So, so anyway, I convinced him, let's go, man. Let's just go. We're never going to be on this side of the red carpet. So we go down to the Emmys, and this is separate from the big Emmys you see on TV. This is for this category and the smaller categories. It's a smaller show.
Oh, okay.
So,
I was
yeah. So we just went down there. Luckily, our category was the very first category called, so we didn't have to stress on it too long. And the very first name they called was ours, and we were like, "What, man? What?" So we were shocked because we were going up against like Honda of America, we were going up against Yamaha, all these big corporations that did these PSAs, and it was just me and Kevin out here with our camera that we had at home and a couple of actors, you know, that were happened to stay with me that weekend. So we just shot it real quick and got lucky, got blessed to win this thing.
That's amazing, man. So have you been able to detect any changes because of the PSA that you guys did? Do you see anything that you would consider improvement or anything that encouraged you that this is, you know, something more folks should do? Did you see anything?
You know, I hope that it reached at least a few people. I mean, the message was clear. The message was honest. We know that there's a school violence is something big in this nation, and I don't know if it's ever going to stop, but I'm hoping if it at least reached a few kids to make them aware of what happened and what to do in these situations, then I hope it made some change. But I mean, that's all we can do. If you have an idea and you want, and your message is pure, I think you should put it out there, and you may never see the change. You may not see a change, but some kid may have watched it and changed his whole trajectory of life.
Yeah, definitely, man. So let's talk about March 2023.
Yes.
When the 3-year journey started, I guess, for Blessn, man. Talk to us about how I understood a bit of what you said earlier in the show about why you guys started the doom scrolling, and that's something that we all have to try to battle against, because doom scrolling is a real thing and it is a time suck. And if you were happy when you started, you can be down in the dumps by the time you get done. So
that's true.
It's very, very influential and contagious, if you will. But talk to us about Blessn, man. How does things started? What's it looking like now? What have you seen that has been encouraging for you guys to build this? Let's talk about it a little bit. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I don't know if you remember, but back during the pandemic, everybody was at home. We were on social media a lot. You know, movies weren't being made. It was like, everybody was on social media. And during those times, it was fun. It was uplifting. People were trying to encourage each other. Everybody was like doing something fun because, the world was basically shut down, everything around them. So those times were fun. And as we start to come out of the pandemic, you start to see darker and darker content start making it onto your feed. You start seeing people getting hit by cars. You start people getting attacked by animals. You start seeing people trying to promote their OnlyFans. You start seeing all kinds of stuff that wasn't there just a year or two before. So, and that kind of stuff is contagious. If you just stick on it for just like a minute or so, just looking at it like, what is this on my feed? Next thing you know, you're getting all of those for the rest of the day. And now your algorithm has changed, and now you in a bad mood. You wake up in the morning, you go on Instagram, now you're in a bad mood. And I just thought this got to be something different, man. I'm tired of scrolling, and that's why they call it doom scrolling, because you go into this, tunnel of doom and gloom. And so that was the whole idea behind Blessn. We want to create a space where you can come and be uplifted. So if you want to start your day off with something fun, we got people on there skateboarding. We got NBA players on there. We got singers and artists, and so all this fun stuff that used to be going on before the doom scrolling is now on Blessn. So now we're not going to have any divisive content. We're not going to have anybody being mean or anybody getting hurt or anybody trying to flash something that goes against your values. So that was the whole spirit and the intent behind Blessn. So like I said, it's a 3-year journey. It's something that, I mean, we put our own money and our own financing behind this thing because we believed in it so much, and it finally launched, and we're starting to see a lot of people embrace it. So, which is a good feeling to see people on the app actually using it what it was intended for.
I love it. And how long has the app been functional? How long has it been?
We just launched. We had a soft launch like November 15th. was a soft launch where we were just basically trying to get the bugs out. Not a lot of people were able to use it at that time or weren't even aware of it. So in December, it started to pick up. We started to see some people get on there, and we started doing a little bit of advertising, still testing out the market. And then like January, February is when it started to take off all of a sudden. And now we're into March, and like even this morning, I'm like, oh, we got new users. This is great. So it's starting to pick up. I mean, we knew it wasn't going to happen overnight. It wasn't going to be millions of users overnight. But one thing that we thought was important is that on Blessn, you can start as a contributor or an influencer on Blessn. You could start monetizing your account from day one. You don't got to have 1 million users. You can start making money immediately on Blessn. And we've started to see people get paid already just off the app because they're making such fun content.
Okay, I want to come back to that one. I think a lot of folks are interested in monetizing, especially in today's world. I want to come back to that real quick, but take us behind the scenes, because I don't know many app creators, a couple here and there, but tell me what it's like to create your own app and have to kind of be almost a doorkeeper, keeping certain things out. What's that like for you guys to be able to do that, and what kind of challenges have you seen in doing so far?
Oh, well, this is the hardest part, because me and Kevin come from a background of film and entertainment. So when we got into the app making scene, we were newbies. So you got to be careful, because when you jump into this, you got to hire developers, and you don't know some of the lingo. You don't know who to trust. When we first started developing Blessn, we got suckered. We lost some money. We hired some developers who didn't complete the job. We were going back and forth for months on this thing. We've lost probably 6 months in going back with these developers who took the money and never completed the project. So you got to be careful with that, because if you don't have experience in developing, you're going to get some people who are going to make you promises that they can't keep. So luckily, we learned our lesson there, but it didn't discourage us. We kept going. We got a whole new development team, somebody who's, a whole team right now who's really good. And even now to this day, we keep a sharp eye on every single dollar spent, like what's going on with the development and any improvements we can make. But we got a really strong team now that pushes us out. We got some new updates coming. I mean, this team is somebody who started to become more like family too. If they see an improvement that they're like, hey, you know what I think we should do to make it more user friendly, they'll bring ideas to us. And so that trust has made it's made Blessn just easier to use and more user friendly.
I love that. So I guess in short, when it comes to app development, is it normally you pay first before the work gets done, or is there another way to do it? Is that the only way?
Well, so they'll give you a price. They'll say, let's say you hire some developers. You go out and you get some bids from different developers, and these developers will say, oh, I could do this app for this amount of money. And you're like, cool. All right, give me half up front and half when we finish. So you give them you give them a portion of it up front just to get started, and they start building and they start doing stuff. And then they'll tell you, oh, well, we ran into this issue that they created. And then they'll be like, we need to go fix this issue. So now you got to pay us this much. And we're like, but you did that. You broke it. So it was a lot of that. Like, wow. If you don't have somebody who you trust, or somebody who's like has a really good record of delivering, you end up going with a bid that seems reasonable, but it's like somebody painting your house. You hire them to come paint your house. They give you oh yeah, I can do this for like $3,000. Next thing you know, it jumps up to $6,000. You're like, man, that's not what you told me in the jump. Yeah. So it's just like getting any bid. It's dangerous out there. So if anybody's thinking about developing an app or doing something in this, I say you go to like Reddit, you go to, look for reviews, you go to trust, I think it's trust.com. There's a lot of places you can go to try to find out, does this person have a good track record of delivering and not jacking up the price halfway through the project.
Wow, that sounds perilous, man.
Yeah, it is.
You were talking about monetize on your app, which is really unique that you can monetize so early in the process. Are you able to explain a little bit about what that looks like for somebody who might be watching and listening, who wants to join Blessn and kind of be a part of that mission? Can you explain that a little bit, the monetization part?
Yeah. So we noticed that a lot of influencers, a lot of times they're doing this not only because they have a message they want to do or they're just having fun, but they'd also like to make some money off of it. And we don't want anybody trying to make money going against their values. So they don't have to go flashing off some of their, body parts in order to make some money. We want to create a space where you can still make money and still, stay into your own values. And if that's something you want to do to make money, that's fine. I'm not saying that's bad or good. I'm not any judgment on people. But if you want to make good, fun, clean content and also get paid, we created where you can request a personalized message of faith. So let's say you're on there and there's a creator on there who's really funny or really uplifting and really has a good message. And you have, like, let's say your daughter or your son, they got a SATs coming up or they got a big test coming up. You can say, hey, you send them a direct message saying, hey, would you send my daughter a message of encouragement because she has a big test coming up? And that person can send them a message, a funny message. I got one from my nephew. He's a big Nets fan. So we have a Brooklyn Nets player on there.
My
so
hometown right there.
What's that?
It's my hometown right there. Just don't
Oh, yeah. We got Michael Porter Jr. I got one from Michael Porter Jr. for my nephew. So I had him do a blessing for my nephew, like encourage him before a basketball game.
Oh, that's awesome.
These little messages, you set your own pricing. What do you want to charge for somebody to receive a personalized blessing from you? And that's as simple as that. Yeah. As long as you're making fun content, people are going to come and say, man, send my nephew a blessing or send my mom a happy birthday or a Mother's Day, something more personal than writing it on a card and sending it off to grandma or something like that.
No, I love that, man. That's pretty awesome. I love that.
Oh,
So what does your social media activity look like now? You made Blessn and you got your own thing now. Are you still in a place where you have to battle the doom scrolling? Or are you less active on social media now because you have your own app?
Well,
you guys,
I spend a lot of time on Blessn because I'm just checking to see what's new on there. If it's working properly. I spend a lot of time on Blessn, but we also still spend time on other social media platforms because we are promoting. And I don't expect anybody just to give up on social media on their other platforms and be like, I'm only sticking with Blessn. If they do, great. I would love that. But I don't expect anybody to just dump everything and come to Blessn. But when you need a cleanse, when you need to say, this is enough, this is too much, my algorithm's messed up, it's got me all messed up, then you can pop on to Blessn and you can start scrolling, you can see an uplifting content. So me, myself, I spend a lot more time on Blessn now than I do on my other social media platforms because I want to see what's going on. And plus, these guys on there are really fun. We got a lot of new content on there every day, so it's really fun to be there. But I still check in with the other crowd to see what's going on. I also check on my ads that are on like TikTok and Instagram and all these other platforms. So I'm still on there a little bit.
I love that. So who are your I don't know if customers is the right word, but who are your people on Blessn? What types of people are on Blessn? I mean, with their career, with the genre they're in, who's actually on Blessn?
Oh man, we got a really good mix of people on there. Like I said, we got some NBA players on there. We got skateboarders on there. We got the young crowd. We got faith leaders, people who are trying to bring people to the faith. We got gospel singers, musicians like country singer. We got rappers, poets. I mean, it's everybody. We got gymnasts on there. We got some athletes on there, like a woman who's doing track and field. Students, a lot of students have been jumping on here. You can see them at their college, and they're a girl who's on there. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she's like preparing for this play. So she's taking us all through the steps of what she's doing to prepare for this play, like from the audition to I got the part, and then her dance routine and everything that's leading up to this play. So it's a lot of young people who've been jumping on there, which was really what we intended. We wanted the young crowd to be on there so we can get them away from some of that doom and gloom, so they see the world as an encouraging, place and not just all this bad stuff that's happening out there in the world.
I love that, man. We need more folks like you doing this kind of thing. I know that your goal and your mission that you and Kevin share is to kind of shift the culture of social media. What for you personally, what's your big, hairy, audacious goal? What do you want to accomplish? And if it's not that same thing, it's something separate, what do you want to accomplish specifically? What's a big goal for you that you love to accomplish?
Well, I think the whole thing behind Blessn is the intent. Our
Okay.
intent is to raise, to bring the world into a more uplifting, friendly place. Because you've seen back in, I don't know if your age, but I know in the 80s, they used to say, if it bleeds, it leads. And that's when you see on the news, if it was, a car chase, they put it on the news, frontline news. Everything was bad. Everything was trauma. All that stuff was getting the headlines. So I think it's time for a change. And so our goal is to just start pushing people's heart into a different direction where they're not thinking the world is coming to an end, and they see that there are actually good people in the world. There's people who are just having fun, and just to not be so, put that wall up where you don't trust anybody in the world. So it just shows that there's good people out there and people who are just having a good time.
I love it. And I think the idea makes total sense. Excuse me. I think it's definitely needed. Are you able to, I'm asking tough questions like this, so forgive me, but can you and Kevin clearly see a way to make that happen? Because just presenting an alternative, sometimes it's like, okay, it's an alternative. People may not go off of their Instagram to come to Blessn. They may enjoy that day. They're building a network there. What do you actively have to do, in your opinion, to make that dream and that mission happen? Are you doing something out of the ordinary to kind of shift the culture, shift the mindset? Are you doing anything besides just being available?
Yeah, I think people will start to embrace it, and more people will start coming over to Blessn. And then once people start seeing, even the big corporations start seeing, wow, not just sex sales, but positive sales, faith sales, being a good person sales. Right now, everybody's like sex sales or doom and gloom sales or violence sales. Those things make money now. Once people start seeing, oh, well, you could still be profitable and be a good person. Once they start seeing that, everybody's going to start changing their own algorithms. So you're going to see movies that are more uplifting. You're going to see TV shows that are more uplifting. The news is going to be more uplifting. So it just takes one little step for somebody to show that this is a way to be positive and still be valuable. Then everybody else is going to start following suit. Because there was somebody who was the first person to say, hey, when we show a car crash on TV, man, we get more viewers. So now if we start changing that to, hey, if you do something fun and uplifting, you're starting to get a lot of viewers over here on Blessn. Other people are going to start saying, well, we need to change our algorithm. Maybe this stuff doesn't sell anymore. So it just takes that one little step to start pushing it in the right direction.
Oh, I love that. As a parent of young people, it seems to me, because you asked about my age earlier, I got 3 adult daughters, but I have 6 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren. It seems to be challenging to parent in this digital age. Tell me how you're doing that, knowing that you have an alternative, but you're still dad.
Yeah,
you're not the founder of Blessn. You're dad. How is parenting challenging for you in this digital age when you see all the things that are going on and the reason why you even built Blessn in the first place? Can you share about those challenges? What are you seeing? What are you navigating?
Yeah, man, I worry about that all the time. And not just for my kids, my mom's 69 years old. She calls me all the time and is talking about, oh my God, did you see what was on this or that? And I'm like, Mom, get off of social media. Stop it. And I mean, even myself and people I know my age, we still struggle with social media. We struggle with what's going on in the world, competing with people on their looks. We don't feel like we're up to the snuff because we're not in a private jet. We don't have all these nice cars and all these nice things. So young people are still trying to navigate the world, and they're seeing people on these, living this lifestyle that seems unattainable, and they start getting depressed. They start feeling like they're not enough. And there's my son, who's 25 years old, working on his master's degree. I went to visit him at LSU, and he was telling me he felt like he was falling behind because he saw somebody who he wants to be a writer, somebody who was writing on a TV show and was making all this money, who was his age. And I'm like, that is very rare. That is like very rare. You got to get over that. So I think when you go to something like Blessn, you have an alternative for the young people to start seeing. You're not competing on Blessn. Nobody's on there pretending to be on a private jet. Nobody's on there trying to be something they're not. Everybody on there is coming with a pure heart. to just have fun and uplift each other. So you're going to find uplifting messages. I mean, mental health is a big issue right now. So I think with Blessn, it's kind of like a cleanse, a little mental health cleanse. You can go over there and get away from that idea that you have to be this perfect person and just have fun.
I love it. Aside from being a multi-podcast host, I'm a high-performance coach. I'm a minister and a community leader. Is there a place for me on Blessn?
Oh, absolutely.
Am I a fit?
You're the perfect fit. That's exactly who we're looking for. We're looking for community leaders. We're looking for youth, organizations. We're looking for faith leaders, anybody who has a positive message, who wants to just do better in the world and just to have fun on social media again without having to scroll past somebody getting hurt or getting beat up on the street. I hate that when I'm scrolling through social media and I see some kids running to a grocery store, snatching stuff and running, and they think it's funny. And I'm like, that's not the message I want to send to my kids. And that's not a message you want to send to your kids and your grandkids, that this is funny, doing it on camera. So you're going to go to Blessn. You can post stuff that's not going to haunt you in 10 years when you're trying to get a job and they post this,
it's a big deal, man.
That kind of stuff that you got to talk to your kids about. What you put out there online is out there forever.
That's a good point.
If you're on a Blessn, you're going to be able to post safely, because any content will get flagged that it's not appropriate. We get rid of it. So it's not going to be out there to haunt you. You put on some good content, and when somebody looks you up in 10, 15, 20 years from now where you're trying to get the job, they're going to be like, this guy's been good since day one. This guy's been, a solid person since day one.
I love that, man. I love that. Is there a charge for Blessn? Is it free to use? Explain that.
It's 100% free. You jump on there just like any other social media platform. You can even use Blessn without even logging in. If you want to log in and start posting, you can do that. But if you went on Blessn today and you just want to start scrolling and seeing what kind of content is on there, costs nothing. You don't have to put your information in. You just go on there and start scrolling. And if you like what you see and you want to comment on people's posts, or you want to start liking people's posts, then you can, create your own account and you can post your own content. But just for checking it out, costs nothing. The whole thing is free.
This is a beautiful app, man. I'm excited about this. I'm going to join Blessn today. I hope our listeners do as well, that are watching live or on replay. I hope they do the same thing. I'm joining today. This is very positive. I love this, man. At the end of the day, man, how do you want to be remembered? I know you can't speak for Kevin, but maybe you can try. At the end of the day, how do you want to be remembered today? Or at the end of the day, excuse me.
I think about that a lot. I went to my grandmother's 99th birthday just last month in February. And they had a booklet of all of her accomplishments that she's done for the past 99 years. And I was thinking about myself, like, what kind of legacy do I want to leave? Or what's my book going to look like if I make it to 99 years old? And the main thing is just to be a good person. I want people to remember me as somebody who believed in himself, somebody who wasn't afraid to, go out and take a risk. And that's the message I want my kids to see and other generations, younger people to see, is just believe in yourself. I mean, this is life. It's just supposed to be fun. So that's it. Just simple, have fun.
No, I love it. I love that. Is there a problem that, outside of being a co-founder of Blessn, is there a problem that personally or professionally you want to solve?
I think the main thing is just to create a safe space for people. I mean, there's so many people out there creating opposition or creating division, and now everybody's fighting with each other. So I think that the only thing I want to solve is to start bringing people together instead of dividing people. I
love that, man. Thank you for your time in doing this, man. This is a fantastic conversation. I'm so grateful that I got a chance to meet you and hear about Blessn and hear about somebody who's trying to do something in the world that means something, that matters. Not just now, but for generations. That's what Blessn is, man. So I'm going to just give you the last 120 seconds of the show. You can talk about where people can find Blessn. And if you'd like to, you can also share some encouragement with our listeners and our viewers today. Go for it, Gerald.
All right. Well, if you want to download Blessn, you can find it on the App Store, on Google Play, or on Apple App Store. And it's spelled Blessn. That's Blessn for Blessn. It's free to use. It's fun. Come check it out. It doesn't cost you anything to check it out. And any words of encouragement? I'm going to tell you something that was told to me when I was like 5 years old. And it says, if you believe it and you can conceive it, you can achieve it. So go out there and believe in your dreams and just try.
I love it. Co-founder of the Blessn app. You can find it on the App Store and I believe Google Play Store as well.
That's right. Yes.
But for you Android users.
Yeah.
No shade. I'm just saying. But that's Gerald Jones. His partner is Kevin Clark, and they're the founders of the Blessn app. Gerald, thanks for being here. We appreciate it so much. Have a fantastic day. And thank you for doing all that you do, man, for the next generation, man. It's a blessing. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. That's Gerald. I'm Mr. U. We're out. Have a great day. Thanks again for watching. And